Yo, we in the building. DJ Gambini, the Renaissance Man, and this is Sports Talk 101, presented to you by Country Vision Studios. We off in the building today, and you can see this little slight smile on my face. Okay, you know, from last week, we decided to go, okay, we're going to do picks, again, pick them throughout during the season, and add in a little fantasy football. Okay, last week was a good week. I have to wait till Monday Night Football over to actually say, whatever. But I went 13-3, man. 13-3 on picks. That's an excellent start. You know what I'm saying? Most people, I see some people get, all the picks right, and it was possible. It was possible. If I would have went against the Falcons, which I knew I should have, but that's my team. I'm not too much gonna go against them. That was another win. Baltimore, instead of trying to project the upset and just going with the numbers, I could have picked them. The only team that was really an upset was New England versus Cincinnati. Nobody expected New England to walk into Cincinnati with a new head coach and all that. It's not like they in a total rebuild, but they did switch coaches and they are searching for the future quarterback, which Jacoby Brissett has always been a good space filler as far as quarterback position goes. Okay, I want to clean up some stuff I messed up last week. Okay, at the end of the show, I finally got a comment, and this show is not live, but that one was live. Hopefully we'll get back to the live next week. But I got a comment and asked me, was it better to take Pacheco in Kansas City or T. Higgins for Cincinnati? Now, I was right by telling them to take Pacheco over T. Higgins, which I didn't know T. Higgins was going to be out. I didn't know that at the time. But Pacheco put up good numbers, but the part that I got wrong is Pacheco's a running back. I was thinking he was a wide receiver. I guess whoever it was, they was going put him at flex, right? They was going to put him in the flex position. As far as Atlanta go, look like we done wasted $180 million, man. It just look like we done slap wasted. Kirk Cousins didn't look good at all. I mean, not at all. Even with that touchdown to Kyle Pitts, it looked like that was blown coverage because he was wide open in that corner of that touchdown. But he was on the run. They didn't want to put him up under center much, and he still looked a little hurt, man. And I don't know, man. Who would give? I know you're searching for a quarterback, but really, and the part that gets me is we playing against Justin Fields when we was in, play. We was in play to get Justin Fields. And when you find out that Pittsburgh just gave up a third-round pick to get the man, I mean, come on, man. What's going on here? But hopefully it'll be better days during the rest of the season, which it do look like we're going to start off 0-3. We got Philly this week, and we got Kansas City next week. I mean, what you going to do, man? I mean, Jesus. I already done discussed the upset over there in New England. I'm only talking about the games I get to watch because I do not have Peacock. I do not have Sunday Ticket. I caught a little bit of the Dallas and Cleveland game, and Dallas being Dallas, looking sharp at the beginning of the season, ready to go. We always worried about them doing playoff times. When the Cowgirls come out with their pom-poms and all this and that, right? But they looked sharp against Cleveland. But I also seen a headline flash across my phone saying that they finna reinvestigate Deshaun Watson. I mean, I don't know why. He already missed the whole season. He already paid people. What else you gonna do to him? And his contract is guaranteed. So if I was them, I'd probably wait till the end of his contract to reopen this to say that the Cleveland Browns won't lose too much money. That's what I'm talking about. And in my fantasy league, I was able to narrowly escape, beat my coworker. I'm talking about this the league for money. The league that I'm in, just on the ESPN league, I won that too. But I pay attention to it, but I don't pay attention to it because I'm more concerned about the league that we playing for money. And I eked out a victory. Thank you, Deebo Samuels. I couldn't even watch that game last night. I said, I'm going to go to bed because this man got to score 21 points, and it don't seem likely, but he pulled it out. Looked like he scored like 21 right on the head. I ain't even really looking. See, I just know I won by like 2 points, maybe a point. But it was a good game because Lamar Jackson, he got Lamar Jackson at the quarterback, and everybody knows he blew up this week. And speaking of fantasy, right now, Saquon Barkley, it was Saquon Barkley, it was another person that scored high. Saquon Barkley. I can't think of who it was right now. Hold on, let me look it up right quick. Ain't gonna take but a second. Let me see who that was. It was somebody else scored a lot of fantasy points. That wasn't kind of expected. Cooper Kupp. That's who it was. Cooper Kupp. It was Cooper Kupp. And Cooper Kupp went down in the draft this year. I don't know why. Maybe because he was hurt and everybody expecting him and Puka Nacua, who's finna be out for a while. I think they put him on the injured list. He's gonna be out for a while, but Cooper Kupp and Saquon Barkley scored the most points in fantasy this year. But I meant this season so far in week 1. They scored the most points in week 1. But the guy that got Barkley in our league, he had a little bit of bad luck because they didn't scratch McCaffrey till the day before. And that was his guy. He was looking to pull out, he ain't need but 8 points to win. But hey, a loss is a loss. We're talking about fantasy football. On our next week. All right, let's get into these picks, guys. We got Buffalo at Miami. Tyreek Hill is just a wonder to me, man. The boy bad to the bone. I got to give it to him. Even though I'm still trying to find out what they was locking him up for. They body slammed him. And I ain't going to say body slammed him. They had him face down on the ground from what I seen. Looked like that's a Lamborghini he was driving. You really didn't know nothing about it until you looked on social media. I mean, they wasn't really talking about it, during the day of football. But hopefully this is an isolated incident and he'll keep on going during the season. But for my pick, I think Miami gonna steal it. I'm gonna take Miami, and I know you saying steal it because they at home, they should win, but Buffalo is a good team. Josh Allen, he just starts out slow. He gonna start out throwing a couple picks, then he gonna get the rolling. Okay, New Orleans at Dallas. New Orleans blew a team out this week, which was the Carolina Panthers. And I don't blame them. I take advantage of a team like that too, because Carolina just don't show you nothing right now. Right now, they not that Carolina team when they had Cam Newton or even Jake Delhomme. They not that team. So I'm gonna take Dallas at home. Las Vegas versus Baltimore at home. Come on, I mean, good as Baltimore played, it was like a millimeter with the guy foot on the line for the last play. And when they was calling it good, they said that Harbaugh was gonna go ahead and go for the victory. So I like the aggressive play calling. Lamar Jackson, you got to hit these players when they open. You don't get too many opportunities like that because they could have sealed that game like 3 times. But I'm going to pick them again this week because they're at home. All right. This is the New York. No, this can't be the New York Giants. Hold on, I got to check something right quick. Let me see. I got New York here versus Washington. But that was last week, wasn't it? That was this week gone, wasn't it? Let's see. It's going to be Washington. Let's see who Washington plays with. The Giants. So who Giants play this week? It is the New York Giants. Let's see who they played last week right quick, because I'll get kind of wild here, man. New York Giants. I know. Oh, Chicago Bears. Okay, I remember. I picked that game. Right. Okay, I'm gonna take Washington at home. Because the Giants, they got a new receiver. He did all right to say he a rookie starting, but New York just got a mess, especially with Daniel Jones. Since they paid him, man, he had like he forgot how to play. All right, the Los Angeles Chargers versus Carolina Panthers. I'm gonna pick the Panthers. Psych. Never. All during this season, I'm probably gonna never pick the Panthers against nobody. And I know they will steal. They will steal a game. They're gonna steal probably 2 or 3 games. But I'm always gonna pick against them because, like I said, they don't have nothing right now. So I'm taking the Chargers to come down and beat Carolina. Indianapolis versus Green Bay. That's gonna be a good game there. Indianapolis, they lost this week. The quarterback Richardson, he came back in good form. But just like I said last week, I didn't want to put too much pressure on him. And I think I'm still gonna feel the same way because he's going into Lambeau Field, into Green Bay, and I think Green Bay gonna pull this thing out. All right, San Francisco versus Minnesota. McCaffrey was a late scratch, man, and I know that had some fantasy owners mad because last year I got that done to me with Bijan Robinson, man. That game where he pretty much ain't get but like one carry. He was on the sideline, and I think Arthur Smith, who was the coach at the time, he got kind of like fined or something like that for not disclosing an injury or something. But that boy do run hard, and I can expect he probably done got nicked up. But anyway, like I said, San Francisco, I think, still got enough to beat Minnesota. But then again, Donaldson did show up this week. I was reading over his stats. I didn't watch the game, but I did look over his stats, and he had a pretty nice game, man. And Minnesota was able to pull it out because, like I said last week, Donaldson just had a bad go at it, man. He always on a bad team. And no matter how good of a quarterback, we're seeing that with Aaron Rodgers right now. No matter how good of a quarterback you is, if the rest of the team ain't up to par, you ain't gonna do nothing. That's from the coaching staff on down. That's why I would have been happy if we'd have got Bill Belichick in Atlanta, because I think we need a change of culture. Not just a change of coaching. We need a change of culture. It's just something about Atlanta that we can only be mediocre. We can only be mediocre. So, this is a tough one for me. And I know y'all saying San Francisco gonna clobber Minnesota, but Minnesota at home. I'm ahead right now with a 13-3 record, so a kind of off record wouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna pick Minnesota for the upset. Cleveland versus Jacksonville. Cleveland ain't showed me nothing this week, bro. Ain't no reason why I think y'all can go on the road and beat anybody. On the road, Jacksonville, go back and see. Let's see if we picked them. I know the 13-3 I should have, right? I should. Okay, y'all picked Miami last week. They played Miami. But I'm gonna pick Jacksonville this week. I like them to get this home win. Seattle versus New England. Is New England gonna steal me twice? I don't know, man. It could be the Bengals. We all know the Bengals. We see the Bengals start out 0-4 and then can catch a 5. We see that all the time, but I don't know, man. OJ Mayo, that's his name. I know his name, Mayo. The new coach was a linebacker once upon a time. They basically took somebody that was already on the Bill Belichick wing and put him there. So the team should be on the same course that it was already on. Jacoby Brissett, I think he gonna play solid. Now Geno Smith, on the other hand, you know what you get out of Geno. You either Geno we know or you Geno, the real Geno. We don't know. So I'm gonna go with this a rough one here. I'm gonna take Seattle on the road. All right, New York Jets versus Tennessee Titans. All right, the Jets, they still looking like the Jets after last night. Like I said, I didn't watch the game, but I got to see the score. They didn't score 21 points. So Tennessee, it's just for some reason, like I said, it's just their culture, man. I just don't see no high flying, lot of points being scored by the Tennessee Titans, right? And then the dumb plays that the quarterback made, that was kind of high on him last week, but I seen some dumb plays in the highlights that he made. You know what? I like Aaron Rodgers to go in and get that win. Go ahead and get that win. Get you a win, A-Rod. All that trash you talking, how much they gave up for you and all that. You already done missed one season. Go in there and get you a win. All right, Tampa Bay versus Detroit. This is a good game. Even though I'm going to pick Detroit. But Tampa Bay and New Orleans look like they're going to be battling it out for the NFC South. I got to keep it real, dog. I got to keep it real. I love the Falcons, but like I said, it's going to be hard to come out basically an 0-3 start. What it looked like, man. Because any given Sunday, any given thing can happen. But it do look like we're going to start at least 0-3. right? We're gonna start at least 0-3 because I can see us beating Philly. Because Jalen Hurts give you a chance. He'll throw a couple interceptions and give you a chance. But the offense, I mean, Drake London, 1 catch. Kyle Pitts ain't have but 2. You got these weapons, and I notice about the NFL now, which make it hard for fantasy owners. They don't feed the workhorse no more. There's no such thing as a good player. If you a player that's a headliner, okay, you got people like Tyreek Hill, Saquon Barkley that gonna get their touches. But all these other people, they kind of do it by committee. They kind of doing it by committee. So I'm gonna take Detroit in that game right there because they got a better committee. Okay, LA Rams versus the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, this is a division game. A division game. Usually you could just say, okay, you usually look at it and say, okay, the Rams. Okay, Arizona. But Arizona, let me go back and check again. I think they pulled it out this week. Did they? I picked them. No, I didn't pick them. No, I didn't pick them. They picked them. They lost this week. But they was playing a good team. Yeah, they played Buffalo. I kind of figured they played a good team, but they're a good team too. And since they at home, and I don't know what the Rams gonna give with Puka Nakua. These names, man. Puka Nakua. You know who I'm talking about. With him out, we gonna go with Arizona. I like Kyler Murray. I like Kyler Murray to pull this home victory out. Pittsburgh versus Denver. Denver. Like I said, even though they got a fine coach over there, you don't know what Bo Nick's going to do. But Pittsburgh is always a team that can grind it out. And when you got a quarterback like Justin Fields, you always one player away. I talked about it earlier, man. We should have got Justin Fields, man. I just don't understand why you don't pull the trigger on that if you got to give a 3rd-round pick. And you get to play him this season to see if you're going to pick up his 5th-year option or not. So I don't understand the thinking. I do understand the thinking of drafting Penix when you done signed Kirk Cousins. I do understand that because you're looking out for the quarterback in the future. He might not be ready to play for 3 years like Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers. You know, you might have that going on. But why you wouldn't get Jalen Fields for a 3rd-round pick? I don't know. But I'm gonna look for Pittsburgh to go into Denver in the Mile High with all the breathing conditions and all that. I'm gonna look for Pittsburgh to pull it out. Cincinnati versus Kansas City. I ain't gonna go wrong this week. It's always a safe bet to go with Mahomes. And like I said, I cleared that up with the Pacheco thing in the beginning. He was a running back, but he was the best pick for fantasy. Nobody knew T. Higgins was out, and even if T. Higgins would have played, I still would have chose Pacheco to do that. All right, Chicago versus Houston. I'm gonna take Houston. Cause that rookie quarterback didn't show me nothing. He didn't even throw 100 yards, and they was able to steal a win. And like I said, they stole that win because it's very rare you can see a quarterback not throw for 100 yards and still pull out a win. You know, it's crazy, man. It's kind of hard to see that. And the Monday night game, I mean, we all know Philly gonna win, right? We know Philly gonna win. But, hey, man, I'm still gonna chill with Atlanta. But this is the first time since I've been doing this that I'm picking against Atlanta. Psych. I'm gonna pick Atlanta because I can't help but go with my team. I just can't help it because I just feel like we're gonna come out better prepared, better ready to play, and Kirk Cousins probably reading all the headlines and hearing his name called so much that he to the point where, man, I got to play better. And like I said, Jalen Hurts will give you a chance. He'll give you a chance. He known to fumble. He known to have turnovers. And him and the top wide receiver, I believe it's A.J. Brown, if I'm not mistaken, they got into it last year. But the addition of Saquon Barkley just make them like 20-dimensional. You know what I'm saying? Like 20-dimensional. I can't really say who playing fantasy football. You know you're gonna play Saquon Barkley. You know they're gonna move Cooper Kupp up in your roster. Cause I think a lot of people probably benched him. You know, he wasn't rostered 99.1% when I looked at it. I don't know why But Cooper Kupp look like he's gonna have a bounce back year. Last year he was hurt. In his sleepers, and just get you a good quarterback. Right now, I don't know why. When you listen to most people that talk fantasy football, they love to say, pick a quarterback in the 3rd round or the 4th round because, running backs have more value. But, I mean, in today's game, if you can get that running quarterback with the number 1 pick, you guaranteed at least 20 to 25 points a game. Josh Allen. I forget the man's name just that quick. Lamar Jackson, I can't I'm brain freezing over here and all that right there going on. Cause like I said, I'm not used to doing a show. I'm not used to doing a show this early in the day. I'm more of like a night rider, but because of my work schedule, I got to get in here, get this done, and then get it put out and all that right there. But it's gonna work out fine. Hopefully we'll have a better show. Maybe we have somebody to come on next week with me. You know what I'm saying? Hear they picks and what they got going on. But don't forget, man, 13-3. Boy, that was a great week there, man. Hey, man, I got to toot my own horn. I might come in here next week with the Grinch face. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't pick nothing right. You know what I'm saying? And I messed up on my ESPN picks because I'm picking against the spread, and I shouldn't have did that. It's all for fun. It ain't like I'm gambling here. It's not like I'm gambling here. And, when you go to big time gambling, it's all about beating that spread. Can you beat the spread? But that's the end of the show, man. Hopefully I'll get to see y'all next week. Don't forget to leave comments. Let me know what your picks is. Let me know where you think I was wrong. If you think I did a good job, you can also leave that. Like I said, I don't mind chatting back with anybody. I don't mind. As long as we stay civil. Well, I guess we're gonna wrap this up, right? And y'all know how we end the show. Peace and prosperity.